The Thick of It, written and directed by Armando Iannucci, first aired on BBC4 in May 2005. The Thick of It is a satirical sitcom that ridicules politics in Britain. It is loosely based on the mid-term of the Labour government and their use in politics of the Spin Doctor. The main concept behind the story is the inner workings of modern government, mainly focusing on social affairs and with regards to their hapless policies and media coverage. As the viewer, you are pushed to see Malcolm Tucker as the protagonist, and we're going to take a look at some of the shots that represent this.
Don't shoot me here, because I'll shoot you right back. I'll shoot you right through that window. None of this should be happening, should it?
No position to dish out fucking sarcasm. That's over. You no longer have purchase in the sarcasm world. Get on the phone.
I know why she should.
The purpose of Malcolm Tucker's character, played by famous actor Peter Capaldi, is to control and maintain the status quo between government and press.
Be doing. Should does not mean yes.
No, there's only one thing to do here. It's what
I'm going to tell you to do. Kill it.
This is very strongly implied through the voice and body language used by Peter Capaldi.
Is this whole Snooper Force thing from you?
To strengthen the identification with the protagonist, extreme close-up shots are used. For example, here, here, and here. This is used to show the emotion and fury in Malcolm's facial expressions and body language, to show him as a dominant and person to be feared. The use of the Spin Doctor within the series is relevant because of the way he manipulates both minister and media with representation of what the majority of the public believed to be going on in politics at the time.
That's why you've got to go.
Thank you.
Armando Iannucci decided to use a cinematographic technique called handheld camera. He used this throughout the series. Here's an example on screen.
Would you mind taking it?
Why?
Malcolm's there.
This means the camera is held in the hand, or given the illusion that it's handheld, for example like this. And in many cases, the shots are limited to what one cameraman could accomplish with just one camera. This allows the viewer to see the situation as if it was through their own eyes, allowing them to feel like they're taking part. The aim of handheld camera technique is to give a film sequence a news gathering or documentary type feel. It suggests unrehearsed filming of reality and can provide a sense of dynamics, instability or nervousness on screen. This style is also known as mockumentary, a programme based on truth with ridicule, which was a technique used in other British television programmes such as Marion and Jeff in 2000 and The Office in 2001.
Can I ask Fatty to lose weight? I'm not even sure that's a proper solution.
Another filming style used in The Thick of It is cinema verite, meaning truth or cinema. This is a style of documentary filmmaking combining naturalistic techniques with stylized cinematic devices used to provoke subjects within a story.
It's going to be a Snooper Force policy. I mean, that's absolutely definite. It's too good a policy.
A sound technique is used to make the viewer feel as though they are involved. This is used through telephone conversation. An example of this is where two characters are in conversation in different locations, but only one character is visual to the viewer. However, you can still hear the character that is off screen and understand the conversation taking place between the two characters. Let's listen to an example of this.
The line is, and call every news desk.
The Snooper Force story is that it was let out by, quote, a disgruntled civil servant, unquote, okay?
Okay, great.
Terry,
You can drop that tone, all right?
What tone?
the I knew better all along tone, yeah?
Let me show you an example of using a sound transformation effect. Say somebody was to call me and I was to answer the phone. Hello, Charlotte speaking. I would then hear their voice, though I'm still on camera, saying something like, Hi Charlotte, this is Katie. Armando Iannucci has used phone call sound transformation effect to create the idea that you are with both characters at the same time while they're on the phone, even though it's obviously impossible because you can't be in two places at the same time. This really encourages the viewer in thinking that what they're watching is real. Even though these women, also known as Blair's Babes, were elected in government and had at the time of the thick of it being aired, women in Parliament were not being treated like equals. For example, in 2005, ex-Tory Cabinet Minister Gillian Shepherd stated that one Tory MP used to call them all Betty because he thought that women were all the same. Armandio Iannucci represents sexism throughout the whole episode. Here's an example of this.
Prime Minister is above the Treasury in the hierarchy. I can write it down on a chart if it actually helps.
Whatever.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Very good, Minister. I'll get to it.
Yeah.
You're just doing your job.
Yeah.
Not very well.
We as an audience can see the male dominance throughout the scenes. This is representative of the old boys club mentality in Parliament that was very relevant in 2005.
Have you got him coffee?
All right. Did you get him coffee?
No.
Malcolm Tucker got coffee?
I thought you were going to.
Oh, for Christ! Get coffee. Get Danish pastries, croissant, and
Danish pastries, croissant.
fruit. Get lots of fruit.
You get fruit.
Okay.
Pile of fruit and lots of coffee. Now.
Would you like some coffee?
Fuck off.
Tea?
You fuck off, darling.
The way in which the men respond to the assistant entering is both dismissive and rude. The fact that Malcolm Tucker then thinks that he is being polite and kind to the assistant by saying "fuck off, darling" in a soft tone, and implying that he thinks that speaking to women in this way is acceptable behaviour when adding "darling" to the sentence. This fits well within the comedy element of a stereotypical alpha male. In this clip, we can see all the characters are entering the office together. When they are walking down the corridor, one by one, it shows a sequence of the characters having a door shut in their face. This is a clever representation of the saying, "the corridors of power," showing their status within the organisation. Not only is this humorous, but it reflects on the power and self-obsession of some of the politicians in Britain. The reason Armandio Iannucci has used social affairs within politics is to show the lack of organisation and the way that MPs can make a statement in the morning, for example, and then by the end of the day completely retract the statement. This spin doctor process is shown through a linear narrative. In this shot, the minister's referral to the TV show Richard and Judy that was on air in 2005 shows the popularity of the show and the way in which the politicians could easily target the public.
This is us. We're on the map. It's a chance for me, Glenn, to get on Richard and Judy and plant that flag right on their fucking sofa.
This also creates a sense of connection between the viewer and the programme The Thick of It, by mentioning something current to the people in society at the time. The series has been described as the 21st century's answer to Yes Minister, highlighting the struggles of the media and spin doctors against civil servants. The former civil servant Martin Sixsmith was an advisor to the writing team, giving them some of the storylines and adding elements of realism to the script. Though the series was scripted, at least 20% of the dialogue was improvised by the actors. This both added to the realism and social relevance. The programme has been performed in an over-the-top and humorous manner, which included excessive use of swearing, which was actually sent off and added to the script by a swearing consultant called Ian Martin, and loosely based on current issues of the time.
Get me a new driver. I don't want to see this guy ever again.
On what grounds?
Smiling. Inappropriate smiling. And smirking. Smiling and smirking. I don't want to see that smile or smirk ever again. Okay? Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.
Which way do you want to go? Blackwater?
I don't care. You're the boss.
Armandio Iannucci uses his ending to reinforce the in-joke of what we as a society perceive the traits of a stereotypical politician to be. This is shown by the minister saying one thing to his assistant and being paranoid and ridiculous, then turning to the driver and doing the typical politician thing, pretending that the situation never happened. This reinforces the humour, but also sums up the linear narrative within the programme in this final clip to reinforce the intent of the whole story in the quick summary to the viewer.